So anyway, today our agenda, we were thinking that we will talk more about healthy aging for body level, mind level, as well as spiritual level. So our agenda is going to be Swamiji will first give us a little satsang about spiritual growth and all of that, and how to do more spiritual practices as you get older. Then Swati she's a physical therapist, and she will talk more about our body, how to keep our body strong, healthy, especially when you're getting older, you get weaker. So she's going to share some exercises as well. And then I will finish with talking more about the mind, and I will take some sutras from yoga and stuff like that. And then we'll have a practice, also like a pranayama practice and a meditation practice at the end. So that's the agenda for today. Swamiji, I would like you to come and initiate.
My humble pranams to each one of you. I seek your blessings, and whatever I have heard from Puja Gurudev or other Swamis or by reading scripture, whatever I have understood, I will just share that with you. If it really makes sense to you, that means glory goes to the Gurus. If something doesn't, then you can blame me. The topic that is given to me is spiritual stamina. Spiritual stamina. 3 words we are very much acquainted with. One is called the strength, the second one is the power, and the third one is the stamina. Strength, power, and stamina. Strength is a natural thing. It is by default, everybody is given that strength. Even an ant or a yellow jacket, it has got a lot of strength. An ant, it has got a lot of strength. Human beings, we cannot take. It is very difficult to take a dead body, because when a dead body becomes like it is stays for some time, it becomes so heavy we cannot carry. 2 people at least needed, but the ants can carry their own dead body. Okay, so ants are very strong. So strength is natural to each and every human being, every creature, everyone. This coronavirus, do you know how strong it is? It can wipe out the entire humanity. It has that kind of strength. God is present in each and every individual, each and every entity. So God is of the nature of strength. So strength is natural to all. But power is not strength. Power is the ability to translate the strength into action. A powerful person is who can translate that inherent strength into action. Depending on how much one is able to convert that strength to action, depending on that person will be powerful. Okay? So strength, power, and what is the last one? Stamina. Stamina is how much one can, whatever one is doing, how much time, the duration one can maintain that one. Some people in the beginning they will do, but after some time they are completely exhausted and tired. That means they are not able to continue in anything, whether it is study, whether it is work, whether at the end we lose that strength. That strength is not expressing. And when it comes to power, now if strength can be compared to voltage. So all these lights have same voltage. What is the voltage here? 210. 110 or 120. In India it is 240 volt. Okay, 240. But the strength, how much of voltage will be converted into the power, that is light, how much light, is depending on the wattage of the bulb. On the wattage. So how much strength, everybody has the same strength because God is same in all. But how much of strength will express in a individual, it is depending on that filament, that is the body, the mind. It is depending on that. All the strength will not express in all the bodies. It is depending on how one has trained the body. If the body is trained and it is kept in a particular condition, then the strength will express more. That person will be more powerful physically. The same thing with mind too. Okay. So now we know the strength, the power and the stamina. But everything is related to the strength. The stamina or power all are related to the strength. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, sloka number 11, God is telling, Balam balavatam aham kamaraga vivarjitam. There are two types of strength. One is the physical brute strength and the other is called the spiritual strength. Brute strength, mind also I am considering as physical because mind is also matter. And body is matter, mind is matter. Mind is subtle matter, body is gross matter. So the strength of the body and strength of the mind, they are not really real strength. They are not real strength. Real strength is the spiritual strength. And which is what is spiritual strength? Kama raga vivarjitam. When one is free from desire and kama raga and attachment. When you are attached, you can see suppose the mother is attached to a child. Mother can, if the child has some issue, mother will not hesitate to even resign from her job, even though she is earning thousands of dollars, immediately she will resign. But if you tell dad, you know the beta is not doing well, give some time to the beta, no, I cannot resign. I want my job. But mother will not hesitate. So that shows that when one is attached, one will have a lot of strength. You can see these boys and girls when they fall in love with each other and will tell them, why you are getting married? There are so many people in India, there is population explosion. Why you have to marry somebody from China? They don't have no year, nothing. And that small tiny girl who is having age difference between the mom, that child will tell in such a so strong, whatever. Both mom and dad will fall down at her feet. Better. There is one girl, 16 years old. She fell in love with a 92-year-old person. Okay? Then parents told her, what is this? He is going to die. Why you are in love with that person? No, you don't understand. God is everybody. You are discriminating. You go to Chinmaya Mission, but you don't understand anything. So now parents cannot tell anything. They told her, requested her so many times. At the end, even both of them, they fell at her feet. Please save us. But she is not. Listen, she is adamant. Then the last resort is her best friend. They told her best friend, her name is Meena. I hope there's nobody Meena here. The Meena is doing like this. She wants to marry a 92-year-old person. Can you just tell her advice not to marry? Then she said, she's getting married to a 92-year-old person. Yes. Now she didn't tell me. Then anyhow she went and she asked Meena, I heard that you are getting married to a 92-year-old person. Yes. three reasons why you are attracted to that 92-year-old person. There are two reasons. Then she told, first one is his wealth. He has got a lot of wealth, lot of money, gold, diamond, and house, land, house. And that makes sense because we are always attracted by this, how much wealth one has. That's the first criteria, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Wealth is there, we can do anything. Then, okay, that makes sense, you are smart. That is his income. And what is the second criteria? She told in Hindi, dincome. I hope you understood from South Indian viewers. It is dincome. That means today, tomorrow, he may go to, and then all the wealth will be mine. And then her friend told, you are very smart. I was thinking that only you are 16 years old, a lovely girl. You are smart. So what I am telling, when you have a desire, you feel very strong. Till to fulfill the desire, we can do anything. But the problem is, once the desire is fulfilled, all the strength will just disappear. That we can see that lover and beloved they are very strong, very strong. At that time, they can defy anything. Parents are nothing. But once that phase is gone, that desire is no more there, you will see that they are completely, they feel left out. Oh, I have disconnected myself from parents. I have no strength. They will feel very weak. As long as desire is not fulfilled, they are very strong. But once the desire is fulfilled, they will feel very weak. That many of us are like that. We study, we have got wealth, we have got land, we have got honor, we have got recognition, but at the end, nothing can help us. We feel very weak. Okay? And attachment. When attachment is there, also one will feel very powerful. Like suppose I am attached to my child, I will do anything for that child. But a time comes when the child doesn't need me or doesn't recognize my contribution, then I feel down. Attachment pulls a person down. It doesn't elevate us. I have done so much, so I should feel better. But really, I feel down because of this attachment. So Bhagavan is telling, and that strength in a strong, balam, balavatam. Balavatam means who has the strength. That means a strong person. And the strength in a strong person. Because of me, a person is strong. We tell that strength is the property of that body. No, body is just inert. Body is just flesh, bone, fat, urine. For us, strength means if 2 or 3 times there will be diarrhea, will be there, we will go to the toilet, then we feel so weak. That means our strength is only that 1 kg of filthy matter in our stomach. One says, oh, so weak, yes, that is your strength. I came across one person in Calcutta. There is one devotee, his name is Dr. Chedda. Anybody from Calcutta, they will be knowing him. He is a very famous heart surgeon. Very wealthy person, very nice person, Punjabi person. And since he was a devotee of Puja Gurudev, that's why we used to go to his home. And he will give us, he has got a lot of servants and all, he will invite Anandar Swamiji and me. Will eat in there many times, and then she will give a lot of donations, and then we come, Dr. Chedda. Then once a sadhu came to his home, and then he invited us to meet the sadhus. Then very elderly person. You know, this person, he doesn't eat anything, no food. No food. He said in 3 days, only he will take little water, but no food at all, no physical food. And he will never sleep. In the bed at night, if we go and see that little small hole was there in that door, he will be like Virasana, how Hanumanji is sitting, he will be sitting there, he will not sleep at all. Then the last day, Dr. Chedda, like in our mission, the tradition is some Swami is coming, then we offer some dakshina for the mission, some donation for the mission. This is the tradition. Then Dr. Chedda also offered him some money. He told, I don't take money. I don't take money. Because I don't have disciple, I don't have organization. I don't need food, only one langoti he is wearing, that's all. Was so strong. So strong. And people have got big muscles, and people who work out and all those things, they got big muscles. You may think that they are very strong. If you tell them to dig little land for to plant potatoes or something, or some spinach, you say they cannot do. They cannot do. But they can lift weight. So this strength is a cultivated one, because they make the body in such a way, the strength is expressing, but actually desire and attachment is making them weak. Strength is there, but that will not express, because mind is the place. If they are like virus, they create disease in the mind. There are mental diseases, and once mind is diseased, that strength which is there within each one of us, who cannot express. That's why Bhagavan is telling, I am the strength in the strong, who is free from, what are the two things? Kama and Raga. I hope you are listening. If the mind is free from desire and attachment, then the strength which will come in a person, that is strength of God. Otherwise, it is physical strength. It is very temporary. Very temporary. It is as long as one in a certain age, at certain conditioned bodies, then that person is strong, otherwise it is gone. And they have to take protein, 100 things. One has to do exercise. Okay. Sitaji. Sitaji is stronger or Ravana was stronger? How can you tell? He took away Sitaji, he just snatched away Sitaji. And he was taking in the sky that Viman. How you know that she was strong? She became weak when she was attracted by that golden deer. Okay? One thing, she has never forgotten Lord Ram. She was always associating herself with Lord Ram. She is Lord Rama's wife. Okay? That way, she has the strength. But one time, her mind got distracted from Lord Rama to that golden deer. Everything is gone. But still, again, she recouped. And she remembered Lord Rama. Never she was distracted. Even when he was Lanka, Ravan was trying to persuade her to marry him. And he told that, I will make you the queen, and when Mandodari your servant. Okay, to that level, Ravan, he really persuaded Sitaji, tempted Sitaji to become his wife. And when Sitaji didn't yield to all his tactics, he removed his sword and told that, do you know what I can do now? I'll cut off your head. Then what did Sitaji do? She put that blade of grass, isn't it? Ravan couldn't cross that. Once he has crossed that Lakshmana Rekha, and this time Ravan, he was very careful. He didn't cross that. So see the strength. She brought down the entire Ravan is the most powerful. All the devatas are in the hands of Ravan. Varuna Devata was filling his bathtub, and wind god was blowing all the leaves and everything, cleaning, sweeping the city. But that Ravan, he can do nothing to Sitaji. Okay? At home also in many houses you will see that men think that they are stronger. When they are running and they have big muscles and they can lift something, they are stronger. But if they have some problem with their spouse, to a certain extent she will just go, it is okay, it is okay, it is okay. But once she is cornered, then she shows her. Man can do nothing. Man can do nothing. Because the strength, she has solved everybody. She has bought everybody for the family member. Even this person, this man, who cannot boil even potato. She has done everything. So, she has got a lot of strength. A time comes, one can see that in her. Prahalada, a small child, and what to talk of Kamsa? Kamsa cannot Hiranyakashipu. That Hiranyakashipu, he was trying to, because he was taking Lord Narayan's name, he wanted to kill him. He is the only child. and all straight A's, okay? There is no and spelling bee, 100-meter marathon. Everywhere he is fast, all his name is everywhere. He is the best in each and everything. But this dad doesn't like him. It is reverse. He didn't like him. But Prahlada has never hated his dad. He has no attachment to dad. When the attachment, either will respect the person or will hate the person. Will respect a lot or will hate the person. Either will get angry or will praise. That is the nature of attachment. We cannot maintain content. We cannot respect all the time or we cannot hate all the time. Wherever the attachment, it expresses our likes and dislikes. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to exterminate Prahlada from his life. Because he is telling, Lord, Narayan is more important than anybody else. He didn't like that word at all. So he wanted to kill him. He tried so many ways. Push him from the mountain top, put him amidst the snakes, take the elephant and let the elephant trample him. So many ways he tried, but at the end, he was not successful. Prahlada was never felt anything regarding his dad, that why my father is doing like this. Can you tell the child, you know you are not good, just tell once. Then we will see how much we may tell, oh beta, my chintu, everything. In one word, the child will tell, I have nothing to do with you. But Prahlada, he has a strength. His strength is not because his dad is the head. His strength is the divine strength. Okay? That each one of us is there. Like suppose, after a particular age, then we tell that, you know, I don't have strength. I cannot do anything. When I was a child, when I was young, I was able to eat 10 laddus. Now if one laddu I take, I have to go to bathroom 10 times. In this way, we try to, I don't have. Let us go for movie. You are without movie, you are not able to sit. Every week you are going to movie. What happened to now? Even I don't want to even lift my leg to go to the movie theater. Because we feel very weak. But that is a cultivated thing. This weakness is a cultivated thing. You see any sadhu, we have seen Pujya Gurudev. In once Pujya Gurudev had come to Raurkela. Since I was there at that time, so I have seen what happened. And he was invited to give lecture in Raurkela steel plant. And there are so many departments are there, so it is for the managers. The topic was, managers manage yourself. That was the topic. So and that hall was completely full because there are so many departments are there. So the managers were there. And since we are from mission, so they allowed us to sit there. And Pujya Gurudev gave talk there. And he had so high fever. Okay. And he gave the talk, pin drop silence. Nobody had even the time to think to move the head. Pin drop silence. Everybody heard with rapt attention. And then Pujya Gurudev went to a room, and when we were sitting, and when they measured a high temperature, running high temperature, but nobody moves. Nobody. Because he was not working like, oh, how many supporters are there. Our strength is how many people are around us, how many people are telling Inkilab Zindabad, like how different prime ministers and presidents, their strength is they don't have any strength. Or money, these are the things, if that is taken away from our life, money and the people around us will expire, will fall immediately. Because that is our strength, that is our support. Okay? But whenever there is a spiritual strength, that will always hold us. It doesn't matter what is happening to the body, what is happening around us, who is supporting, who is not supporting, who is praising, who is recognizing, who doesn't recognize, that doesn't matter. That strength will always help us to remain as we are. We will not go down and do all crazy things and criticize everybody, blame everybody. We will not do that because the strength always that is supporting us from within. And when that strength is there, stamina we can maintain, particularly in the physically. Many of us were quite okay, we are strong enough, but mentally we are very weak. Mentally very weak. For example, if somebody is telling something, some word that you are not a good person, we immediately will get angry. Immediately will get angry, upset. Now, how much scriptures we may study and how much we may listen to lectures and all those things. If somebody tells some wrong word that you are a very crazy person, our sanity will lose our sanity immediately. That means we don't have mental strength. Mental strength will only come by doing meditation and by seeing everybody, by giving same importance to everybody, that everybody is my brother and sister, everybody is a child of Lord. That oneness, that vision of oneness really will make our mind strong, not other people. How many gurus maybe we may have, and we may have billions of dollars in our bank account. Nothing is worth. When the time comes, we are really from the hero we become zero. Okay, so that's why this spiritual, particularly for us, we should not make ourselves a victim. We should not make ourselves an object of pity for others. Let everybody say, oh, okay, Dad, you are doing this, you are getting old, and we should not be like that. Then no need. How much God is there in a young person, so much God is in elder person too. Body is getting changing, but not the mind is not changing, and the spirit is always the same. We don't have to do anything with the spirit. Spirit is always the same. Only these two things change. Body changes, mind changes. But if we are surrendering God all the time to the body, and we are remembering God through our mind, surely we will not feel the effect of old age at all. We will not feel. Body will age. Nobody can stop that one. So the stamina is that how long will remain strong and happy and confident. That is the stamina that is entirely depending on the strength, spiritual strength, which is a natural state. If our mind is free from desire and attachment, surely we will realize our own strength. May God's blessings and Puja Guru's blessings with us, and we lead a very good life. Hari Om.
Main event, Healthy Aging for Body, Mind and Spirit by Swati ji. And let me introduce Swati ji. She is licensed physical therapist and a member of American Physical Therapy Association with over 40 years of clinical and management experience. We are glad you are here. She has been a clinical instructor for PT and PTA students, mentor to graduate students who are interested in pursuing careers in health sciences. Expertise in treating orthopedic, sports, spine, musculoskeletal imbalances, etc. Advanced training in gynopelvic visceral manipulation to help address, did I pronounce that right? To help address infertility, pelvic pain, endometriosis, adhesion, post-C-section, scarring, postpartum pain, etc. Surgery scars, etc. Strongly believes in philosophy that involves use of evidence-based, patient-powered treatment approach. Individual respect and compassion results in the best outcomes for the patients. Ultimate goal is to help patients feel better by being partner in bridging health and wellness. And we have Swati ji here to take us through the healthy mind, body, mind. Thank you, Swati.
Thank you. Hari Om. Namaste. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of keeping a physically healthy and active lifestyle in Vanaprastha by focusing on functional fitness, physical fitness, and role of physical therapy. So let me start with the vision statement of American Physical Therapy Association. Now the statement is very carefully designed or worded, I should say. So it goes like this: transforming society by optimizing movement to improve the human experience. I'm going to repeat it. Transforming society by optimizing movement to improve the human experience. So now we all must wonder, what is human experience? That is different from one person to the other. It varies by age. Where do you live in the world? Our human experience in America might be different than somebody lives in India or Japan or Sri Lanka. So, for example, young people, it's playing sports, going to gym, dancing at the club, running marathons, lifting heavy weights and whatever, going long hikes. But for people who are sitting here, your human experience might be different. You want to hold your grandkids, chase them in a backyard, or go attend their sports meet and stand for an hour or two, or go on a trip to Europe and walk on those uneven streets. Or you want to go on a pilgrimage. Some of them might want to do, I want to do Char Dham Yatra, but I cannot do this long bus ride, or I cannot hike on a mountain or whatever. So these are, or sit for a puja for 2 hours on a floor. So you got the idea that human experience is different for different people, different parts of the world. And that is what we're talking about, optimizing the movement to improve human experience. So that is the Physical Therapy Association goal, at any age, anywhere in the world. So, in order to have a better human experience, you need functional fitness. Now you say, what is functional fitness? It's kind of physical fitness, but it's more needed for your function, day-to-day life, or to have human experiences. So in order to explain this functional fitness, I'm going to tell you a story. A 79-year-old grandpa wanted to go on a hike in Vietnam. There's a big cave. It's one of the largest cave in the world. And in order to get to that cave, you have to hike 6 hours through thick jungle. There are no trails. Once you walk 6 hours, you get to the entrance of the cave. And the tour operators will decide how you did on that hike, and then you get to go inside because they don't want emergency inside. So the grandpa's human experience dream was to go on a hike in Vietnam with his son-in-law and a grandson. So 3 generations he wanted to go do this special thing. Grandpa knew he was strong, but he thought he may not have a good balance, a coordination to do the 6 hours hike. So he went to a trainer and got fit. So time came and 3 of them went to Vietnam. They go through the 6 hours long hike, and they go to the entrance of the cave, and Grandpa did not go inside. Now what happened? He was fit. He went and got a training. Any guess? Anybody can think what could have happened? So it was not because of him. It was his 49-year-old son-in-law. He was huffing and puffing on a trail. And because of him, Grandpa said, all 3 of us were supposed to go, and I will not go inside without you. So it was nice of him. But so here, it wasn't the age, it was the lack of fitness of his young son-in-law. So lesson here is, age alone does not make you fit or unfit. At any age, you can become stronger if you put an effort in. So now we all know the importance of living healthier than longer. It doesn't matter how long you live, how healthy you live. That is more important. And prevention is always better than treatment. Muscle mass begins to decline 3 to 8% after the age of 30. So your peak is 25 to 30. That's the youth. After that, everyone starts to decline. 3% is the lowest, 8, unless they are really taking a lot of supplements and pumping heavy weights, it's a different story. But majority of the people, it is 3 to 8%. After age 60, it is almost 10%. So it accelerates.
You mean per year?
Decade-wise. It's going decade. So as you age after 60, you're going to start losing your muscle mass. That is why it is very important to start paying attention to your physical strength, functional strength. So if you have any musculoskeletal ailment in your body, like a shoulder pain, back pain, knee pain, hip pain, or weaknesses, that means you're not going to live your life to full extent that how you imagine that you would want to live. You might modify your lifestyle and your activities. So in order to live and experience your life to fullest, you should and must address these physical issues or ailment as soon as you become aware of it. Most of the time, simple aches and pains and strain, if you sprain your ankle, your knee, if it's small, it should self-resolve in 3 to 4 weeks by doing some home treatment. Rest it and ice it and stretch it. It should go away. If it doesn't go away in 4 weeks, then it's time to go get help. And that's where you need to either see a doctor or physical therapist. At least in Illinois, you do not need to see a doctor to get the evaluation by a physical therapist. You can call any physical therapist and they will assess you. If any further approval, order, signature needed, then the therapist can get it from doctor's office. But so if you think you need help, you can go ahead and contact your doctor or your therapist. Also, when you go see your therapist, not just complaining only, oh, the knee hurts or my back hurts, but you also should know what you are not able to do because of this pain. That should be your goal. That because of my back pain, I cannot mop the floor or I cannot sit on the puja for 20 minutes. So something very specific you should tell them so they know what goal you and as a patient and a therapist are working together. So those are the functional goals. So that's what you should be working for. They will also give you a home program to do. It's very, very, very important that you do your part at home. Because seeing a therapist 2-3 times a week does not bring results. You need to do your part. And then that's where you will have the best outcomes. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time and money. So remember, it is much easier to heal and get stronger at 60, 65 versus 70 and 80. That's why the faster you know there is a problem, you should address it right away. So some of you might have physical therapy in the past. Most orthopedic conditions, aches and pains, arise from musculoskeletal asymmetry, instability of the joints, and overuse of a weak body. A lot of us become weak and warrior. When the summer comes, everybody wants to do gardening and then there's a back pain. Or you go to Disney and suddenly you're walking 20,000 steps in a day and at home you're not even doing 5,000 steps. So that's where the weaker body, if you overstress it, if it's not strong, and that's where you will have a problem. So a good PT will focus on finding and treating the cause of the problem versus just treating your symptoms. I have been in this field for many years and I have come across good PTs and so-so PTs. So a lot of them may just address, okay, you have a foot problem, oh, I'm just going to work on your foot. Rest of the body doesn't exist. Or you might complain and say, oh, my knee hurts, and they say, no, you just brought a prescription for the foot, so I can only do this. But good therapist will address the whole body and assess the whole body. So please keep that in mind. When you go and visit a therapist, You kind of take a mental note, then did they look at my entire body? So that is very, very important. So let's say you go to your doctor, I'm going to give you an example, for right foot pain. You go to the doctor or therapist, they'll give you some stretches and exercises. They'll say, okay, do the ice pack and maybe put an insert in your shoe and change your shoe or whatever. Let's say you got 80% better. And this last 20% of the pain is not going away. At that time, you should be thinking, I walk on both feet. I didn't do anything to hurt myself. Why only right foot hurts and not left? So now this is where a good physical therapist comes in a play. A good therapist will assess the whole body, the whole musculoskeletal system, assess your hip, your low back, the mobility of your hip and ankle, the strength of your hip muscles. After assessing the entire body, they will come to a conclusion that, okay, why this right foot is hurting. I'm just going to give you an example, especially we are talking about right foot. And 95% of the time, the asymmetry that I see, that I'm going to just show you that what happens. So let's say the right hip gets high. Nobody walks like this, right? Nobody's going to walk like this. So they're going to correct. The body is going to correct, the gravity is going to correct. I'm just going to go a little exaggerated so you can literally see it. So high, nobody's going to walk like this, so you're going to correct. So the shoulder gets into overcorrection actually. So hip gets high, the shoulder gets low in an overcorrection. You could have a problem here, here, or here. So shoulder, neck, this is down, so neck. People could have a rotator problem, tendinitis problem, whatever. The hip, when it goes up, it turns in. So when that hip turns in, you're going to have a knee problem. Inside of your knee is going to hurt. And same time, you're going to put more weight inside of your heel, medial heel we call it. So you keep walking like that, just a mile. You go downtown, you have either flip-flops on or something, and you walk like this, this, and this. You're going to have a heel pain, which is called plantar fasciitis. Very, very common. I have worked 20 years with a foot and ankle surgeon for 15 hours a week. I had two practices, so one was foot and ankle. Unless I worked on their hip, their heel pain never went away. They had injections and inserts and shoes and the night splints. Heel pain never went away until I made the pelvic symmetrical. So the pelvic girdle and the shoulder girdle, they both are parallel. If this one goes up, this one goes down. That's the only way body knows how to keep a balance. So a good therapist will be able to spot it and address it. And if they don't, you will be 80% better. So it is your responsibility as a patient to also look for the right caretaker for you, or care provider, I should say. So we talked about the right hip. So now you all got the idea probably that how the symmetrical musculoskeletal system leads into other ailment. I didn't even talk about that, how that will cause in either hip pain or knee pain or shoulder rib rotation. So a lot of things happens because of the asymmetrical pelvis. Now, let's talk about, so you probably wonder that, okay, then how do we keep the pelvis stable? That is the biggest question I get every day. So now I explain to them that why, what is happening, but then the next question is, so how do I keep it? That is the most important, right? How do I keep it? Is by keeping your core strong and keep the flexible body. So core strength and flexibility of the body will give you an aligned body, and that will give you a good physical strength base to keep it work, then you can work on it. So let's talk about how do we keep the pelvis stable, or how do we do the core strength up? By keeping your age in mind, because the age is important. You're not 35, you cannot just go in a health club an hour and just go lift heavy weights and you'll be fine. So you have to be careful about that. So here, there are few things that, 6 points that you want to keep in mind when you think about your physical fitness program. So you should be incorporating core exercises, stability exercises for your knees and glutes, balance exercises, low impact cardiovascular exercises, stretches, and strength training. So now I'm going to go through each one of different topics. So you should be focusing on strength and movement that help you in everyday life. Think of cross body and full body motions, which use multiple joints and numerous muscle groups instead of using the weight machine, right? The young people do that. It's good for them. They need to play sports and such. You need to do different stuff in your later life. So you need to think of cross-body and full-body movements. And good examples for those exercises are yoga poses and Tai Chi. Next, low-impact cardiovascular exercises. So examples of low-impact cardiovascular exercises are walking, stationary bike, swimming, water aerobics, and dancing. Not a slow dance, but little pick up with a beat. For walking, your aim should be 7,000 to 10,000 steps daily, which is about 3 to 4 miles. It sounds quite a bit for some, but you can at least do 4,500 steps a day, and that also been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease. So something is better than nothing. Start with shorter distance and gradually increase your steps as your fitness increases. A good walking speed for senior is 3 miles per hour. Walking faster than 3 miles is wonderful. If you can do it, that is always beneficial, especially for your heart. But if you're walking 2.2 mile per hour speed, that is an indicator that focus should be on improving your overall strength and your cardiac strength, cardiac ability. So 2.2 and below, that means you're very slow, your heart is not even working strong enough. So 3.3 is the target. If you can do above, it's great. If it's below, your target should be 3. So just to have a good cardiovascular health, in a simple one sentence, your goal should be 150 minutes of moderate intensity movement or activity per week, which is basically 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So you got 2 days off. So 5 days a week, 30 minutes, you can choose something to do. It doesn't have to be just cardio, but 30 minutes of physical activity per day, 5 days a week. Another thing is incorporate body weight exercises. And these are load bearing through your hips and knees and ankles. So the body weight exercises are there, and shoulder and elbow and wrist. So good examples of body weight exercise. Nobody needs to go to gym for this. Wall push-up. So you can just start here, shoulder width apart, and just do this. You're stronger, go further out and go here. Further, you can even go here. So you can increase how difficult you want to make that exercise by getting away and lowering your body. So we're not going to go full push-ups off the floor, but wall press-ups. So that's where you start with, and that's you go further up. Getting off the chair without holding the armrest. That is a good exercise for your glutes and your quadriceps. Partial squats. So you can hold on and do the support. And if you're strong enough, you can just go tap your bed and get up. Tap your bed, get up. Multi-directional lunges, so which are side lunges, this lunges, back lunge, forward lunge. So you can do those. Different yoga poses are good for those, actually. There are a lot of yoga poses have lunges in different directions. These help you to prepare your body for common daily activities, house cleaning and yard work. So all this body weight exercise is just useful for everyday activity. You can incorporate resistance training, the strength training with some resistance. Either if you are a beginner, you can use the resistance band, which is easier on joints, you can do those. Otherwise use free weights, light free weights, 2 to 5 pounds, nothing major. You can do bicep curls, you can do the press, side. If you're really strong and this 2 to 5 pound is not giving you any difficulties, then you can go up to 8 to 10 pounds and just stay within. You don't need to do super heavy exercise, you just need to keep your muscles toned. When you lift heavy weights, that's where you bulk up, which is, there is no need to do that and cause a new injury. Incorporate simple balance exercises to prevent falls, and they are very important at this age. So I'm going to show you a few of those in just a bit. Lose extra weight. Any excess weight you have, focus on that. 10 pounds of extra body weight delivers extra 20 to 30 pounds of stress on your knees. So just 10 pounds, multiply by 3 times weight on your knees. And if you have arthritis, it's not good. It does not feel good. Studies show that overweight women who drops as little as 11 pounds reduces the chance of getting arthritis in their knees by 50%. So that is very big. Now there are a few question answer, I'm just going to do it. At what age does balance starts to decline? So balance begins to decline on average around age 50. Though significant decline can be observed in some individuals as early as even 40. So by age 65, 15% of the people report they have a balance problem. And that number increases as we age. By 85, more than 50% of the patients have, not patients, the population have significant decline in balance. So balance is a huge, huge thing. Because if you have a less balance, you're going to fall, you're going to have fractures, and we've seen too many total hip replacement because of the falls. And then everything goes downhill. Because weight bearing is very important to longevity. What causes poor balance? So that is also important to know. So poor balance in seniors are caused by multiple factors. Some has inner ear problems, some medical conditions like arthritis or heart disease, they get dizzy and fall too, right? Some medications have side effect of dizziness and they fall. Changes in the vision, you don't have a perception of depth, then also people trip and fall. Low muscle mass, basically that means they are physically weak and they can trip easily. And inactivity, you have not used your body, so body is weaker. That increases the chance of poor balance, some neurological disorders that also causes loss of balance. Can balance be restored in elderly? The answer is yes. Through regular balance-focused exercises, you can improve your balance. So that's a good news. That yes, it declines, but you can work at it and improve it. What is the best exercise for seniors to improve balance? The best exercises for seniors includes sit to stand. Like I say, you can sit and get up without holding on. If you need to, you can, then maybe you can hold on, there's 2 fingers and nothing, but eventually train yourself to do that. Heel to toe, single leg stand, right? If it's hard, you can go here. If it's easier for you there, then you go here and keep it high, 90 and 90. So 90, 90. Heel to toe walking will be this. Your heel and toes are touching. Tandem walking, we call it. It's even hard for me. So tandem walking, so one front of the other, right? You do that. Weight shifts. Single leg raises, sideways. Tandem stands are like this. Standing marches. Toe taps. So toe taps could be, so your house, first, one step is 8 inch in a house. So let's say this is 8 inches. So you're just going to go tap and come back, tap and come back. So first step, come back. You can do those 30 on each side. So basically, when you're lifting, going, coming, there are 3-4 seconds that you are standing on one leg, basically. So it seems simple, but how would it translate to what is going to do toe tap? It's so simple. Think about it. So many people would say, oh, if I need to put my pants on, I need to sit down because I cannot put my pants on standing. So it's important in your daily activities that balance is so important that if you have a balance, you can quickly put your shoes on, socks on, and go. Otherwise, you'll sit down somewhere. Or putting your clothes on, taking it off, right? So it appears that one leg, I don't need to do it, I won't do it. No, but it's important just to even get dressed and undressed. If you don't have a walk-in shower and getting over the bathtub, you need that one leg stand balance, otherwise you'll be looking for walls. And you go places, not everywhere there is a wall available to you, right? So you have to think about that. So simple tips for balance exercises. Always have a wall or chair or sturdy countertop, something available to you for safety when you're practicing. You do not want to fall or sprain your ankle while trying to do that. Start slowly and gradually you increase your time and repetition. So I usually start 30 seconds, but you can start with 10. And then we go up to 1 minute, 2 minutes, and we play ball or something, but we advance it, but those are athletes. Challenge yourself gradually. Once you feel stable, then you can start letting go a little bit of support. Instead of full hand, you can go 3 fingers, 1 finger, or just on and off finger, but that's how you do it. If you feel really strong, you can do it with eyes closed. Be consistent. That's most important. Regular consistency produces the result. Strength training, if you don't do it 3 times a week, you won't see as much result. It's better than nothing. 1 time, no. Minimum 2 to 3 times. Balance, they're so simple to practice. In 5 minutes, you can practice so many things for balance. So that is a must, even I practice it. So we'll go through the exercises in a minute, but on a last note, be selfish. Now you're going to think you're in a God's place and I'm asking all of you to be selfish. So as of today, baby boomers are between the age of 60 and 80. So I'm close to the young baby boomer. and close to 80 are older baby boomers. Today, baby boomers have net worth 40% higher than the age group 30 years ago. You all have a lot of wealth. You have worked hard to be financially secure, to enjoy your life, enjoy your Vanaprastha years. Go on adventure, live your life to fullest. But to do that, you need physical fitness. You need functional fitness. There are senior programs, fitness programs offered by Park District. Local health clubs have programs for seniors. Silver Sneakers program through Medicare. They pay for it. It's part of your Medicare benefits, Part B benefits. You have that. So take advantage of that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not too late. Start today if you didn't do it yesterday. Do it for yourself. Do it for your loved ones and your family. They will thank you. Come on. So do we want to do the exercise, Pushpa? Do we have time?
Yeah.
Or I kind of demonstrated a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's good to show a couple of things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, you're all fine. Let's just.
We need to take her volunteer.
You want to do it?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I'll have you do it. Or somebody volunteer.
Someone
I'll
else.
do it.
I'm already
You'll do it? Okay. We'll check your balance then.
That's better. Thanks, Kamin.
Try it.
Okay. So I have eight exercises.
Okay.
All right. So hill raises.
Anybody else want to come?
Okay, then whoever
There you
wants. So we can stand like that.
Okay.
We can be in the back.
Or back too, good.
Thank you.
I'm doing it.
But it's pulling. That's
Fully
why.
charged, so it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, that's better.
Now,
Use the power strip.
Oh, okay.
it's okay.
Okay, everybody ready?
Ready.
I said start it today. If you didn't do it yesterday. Okay. Okay.
Swati, give it. Are you done?
No, I'm not done.
Just started.
So okay, if you need any support, just stay close to the chair, please. First one is simple, heel raises. So you're just going to raise your heels and just come down. And make sure your ankles are not rolling. You're just going straight up and down, straight up and down. If you have any bunion problem, it might hurt, but just going up and down. So you can do 30 of those, okay? The next one is toe taps, but we don't have a toe tap like I was doing that. So you can, so it's going to be 8-inch, kind of. You're going to tap like first step and come down. First step and come down. So first step and come down. Yeah, first step and come down. And then switch the side, the opposite side, and come down.
You put some music and dance.
That's why I say dance is a good cardio. So you do 10 repetitions, alternate 2 to 3 times. So 20 to 30 on each side, right? Then standing and marching. So marching, I would like to go all the way high, right? And go alternate. So these are weight shift also exercise. So up and down, up and down. If you can just do here, it's fine. Otherwise, you go 90, 90. And you can always hold down. Then you can do side kicks. So just one. You can do 10 of those, 20 of those. So that gives a lot of stability in the opposite. So
Because you need some, if you want to put support here, then you can do it. Then turn
So it's
around
simple.
and do it back.
So I see a lot of you doing this, so that is a lot of compensation, which is okay, we'll take that. Your goal is your body doesn't move. You're just doing this. So you can hold on. Here you don't have something to hold on, but otherwise you're going to hold on and just go and do this, not this, not this, okay? I see a lot of people. Yeah, hold on. Because I would like you to observe when older people or some people are walking outside, because all the subdivisions people go walking. How do people walk?
Waddle.
Waddle. So what's happening waddling? They are not using their knees. If they are arthritis especially, they're just going to waddle. You can see them supermarket or subdivisions. Okay, next is tandem standing. Tandem this is the hardest.
Yes.
One.
Walking or standing?
No, just stand. Stand. Exactly one in front of the other. Right, the pole walkers walking like that. Then you can do the other one. One side might be easier than the other.
So you don't look down, you just look up.
Straight. Straight. First you might have to look at it where you are, right? But go further. So if you go fast, this one is easy. If you go slow, it is harder, right? If you go slow, it's harder. Fast I can do. Slow gets a little harder. But you can hold along the countertop and just go like that. Right? Go like that. Single leg stand is just this. Stand on your one leg. So when we have people do single leg stand, we tell them, focus 8 to 10 feet something. Find something and just stare at it. And then do it. It is easier when you focus, your balance is better. And if you really want to challenge yourself, somebody can throw you a ball and you play. You can do that. But first, learn to do one leg stand good. 30 second, 40 second, 1 minute, then you can do it.
And if you close your eyes during that time?
That's even harder. It's harder, yeah. So you can always challenge this a little bit. You can do a one leg stand with hill raises too, right? But walking backwards. Go walk backwards. So that is also kind of gives you a little sense of your body in body awareness, basically. Another one is whoever can go on hands and knees. So this.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Yeah.
Sunburn.
And then you have to, good, very good pose. So you have to make sure, you have to be aware of where your leg is and where the arm is. It's like not this or not that. So focus should be on, this is also balance, but also a good core exercise. And final is your tree pose. That is the hardest balance core exercise. So.
And that one you can take the support of the water.
Yeah.
But once you get there,
Yeah, so it's a slow, yeah, you can even stand against it and then start it, right?
So
Or for that, you can start just practicing here first, lower. It's easier, then you start here. So go higher later. So here, just start here, do it. It's better than nothing. Then you go. Okay, so that's my part. So not just today, continue doing it. It's important.
I have a sciatica, but I'm managing all right. But I just want to know what should I avoid, what activity I should avoid day to day in order to not to flare that up.
So most of the time, sciatica, your forward bending activity, you should avoid. And if you must do it, then just the backward bends, lot of backward bends, lot of cobra, very important. But which side it is, right or left?
Right side.
Right. So most likely your right hip is high, and that's what it pinches. So when this is high, it pinches. So you need to keep this part very, very loose. Stretching. The one of the simple stretch is, I'm just going to use this like this. Keeping
Pigeon.
the leg up. Pigeon, yeah. So this is modified pigeon, right? Because you're higher up, you don't have to go all the way, but modified pigeon. So you're stretching this glutes, or you're sitting on a chair.
You can get your chair.
Like this, and you're just square and lean forward just a little bit from the hip, not like this. Here and hinge at the hip. So you're stretching your glute. So it's very important. But when you do this, if it is, do you have a herniated disc or anything? Do you have a herniated disc?
Yeah, I think so.
So-
Lately I had some symptoms.
Yeah. So when you bend forward, the disc comes out more. Disc is like a jelly donut. Outside is hard, center is a jelly. When you bend forward, the jelly moves backwards. So forward bending activity pushes the jelly back more, touches the nerve, and you get the pain along the nerve.
So avoid.
Avoid forward bending.
What about sitting for long periods?
Sitting 20-30 minutes the most with the arch support here, supporting this. Making sure you're sitting all the way back, your buttock is touching, and fill this gap by at least 4-inch roll, towel roll,
Okay.
and put it here, and then, but if you sit more than that, then it's going to irritate it. So get up, walk, stand,
Yeah.
then you can sit down, but
Thank you.
sitting long is a problem. Okay, any other question?
Yes, Shankarji. You mentioned something about the insurance part.
Yes.
What is that?
So some Medicare Part B plans, when you sign up, they have, there's a list of health clubs that you can go to as a part of your Medicare Part B premium. So you can ask either your agent or go on a website and find out. I think most health clubs are taking these plans.
But I think you mentioned silver. Maybe
Silver spoons, that's what I was
Silver
thinking.
sneakers.
Oh, sneakers.
Silver sneakers programs.
Yeah.
So I think it's like $20 extra premium on your plan when you sign up for it. So that's what it is.
The Advantage plans have it.
Yeah, they all.
The regular
No,
Advantage plan,
Most plans do.
most
And
of
they-
them,
Not all plans call it silver sneakers,
yeah.
but a lot of Medicare Part B plans would cover health
Health
insurance.
You have to pay $20 extra.
No. It's, I mean,
Some-
each
it is
one
yours.
would be different.
My question was, if the insurance plan does not cover it now, the place you do the exercise, they will cover it?
No. They
No.
pay
No.
by the insurance. But you can change, the Part B plan you can change.
Now when October comes and you need to renew, you can add that. You can ask your,
And you can go to another agent who covers the part.
yeah,
Thank you so
will
much for coming.
give you that.
You have part B to get that advantage.
No,
Most of the times-
Part B is, you have to have it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll be the
But under your Part B,
next, so Just give me
under
15
that Part B, there is option to choose that health, going to health club plan. And it is very minimum payment. So it's good. They have a special group classes designed for seniors. So like chair yoga, water classes only for seniors, stretching class, low strength training class, but it's designed for people who have either physical ailment or they're just older. So it's a like-minded people company, and the instructors are trained to address that, and they make the class that they all enjoy and don't hurt themselves. Got quite a few of my patients who now they are seniors and they cannot come for therapy as much. they go to those programs and they really enjoy it and keep it healthy. So that's good.
Okay, great, good. Hari Om, everyone. You all can hear me without the mic, right? Or do you need the mic? Okay. Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Swati ji. It was amazing. Very good. Very illustrative. I will definitely share when you send it to me. Again, it's a lot of information, so we will be putting it on YouTube. So I will send the link. So if you want to go back and rewatch it, because it was a lot of great information actually. So today, we finished the spiritual stamina, we finished the physical strength. I know Swami just said physical strength is not important, but it is important, I think. So again, that's it. There's a sutra. I mean, there's a proverb in Ayurveda that says Dharma Artha Kama Mokshanam Arogyam Murukuttamam. And that is to achieve the 4 Purusharthas of life, you need Arogya, which is good health. So that includes the physical body because that's what carries us around, right? So definitely, of course, spiritual stamina, I think, gives you that willpower to keep going. I think that is definitely the core of our being, which we need. But we still have to work on all these other factors as well, because our body, we need it. It's our instrument to carry us and do what we want to do. So my portion of this today's talk is about mind. It's hard for me to stand in one place, okay. So I'm going to be talking about the mind, and of course I'm going to use some little bit of Ayurveda. I will talk about not so much about diet, but then most of it I'm going to talk from yoga. I will cover a couple of sutras, and then I will leave you with a couple of practices. One is a pranayama practice, and then we'll do a guided meditation at the end of the session. So I'll try to go soon. I know we've kind of gone a little longer, but that's okay. I hope you guys are okay with staying. I'll try to go as fast as I can. Of course, not too fast. If I'm too fast, please let me know. I do tend to talk fast. Okay, so again, when we get to the Vanaprastha stage, what happens in Ayurveda, we say as you get to that, 20 to 50, we are all busy raising our families and, working, or pretty intense phase. That is called the Pitta phase. So for those who know the doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, we're made of the 5, Mahabhutas, and then, we're in these 3 stages. So that's that Pitta stage is when we're really active, passionate, intense, doing all of the stuff we need to do in life. Then you get to like the 55, 60, go on to about 75. You're back to the Vata, you're in the Vata stage of life. So all of those things we heard about, right? The drying of the body, the arthritis, having constipation, having the movement, balance difficulties, having memory problems, all of these are related to the Vata stage of our life. So naturally our body gets to that stage, so even if you're not that body type to begin with, you end up in that state. That's why you see a lot of drying happening. This is where oil massage, and the sciatica is typically a Vata condition. So you can actually put some oil massage, and I will mention that later on. But so there are a lot of things to balance the Vata also. Again, I also have a YouTube channel. Just to give an introduction, sorry, I didn't say who I was. My name is Pushpa Soundarajan. I'm a registered dietitian. I've been a dietitian for over 35 years, almost 40 years. And I also studied Ayurveda. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner. I'm a certified yoga teacher for about 20-25 years. I've been teaching yoga for the last 6 years, and I have 4 or 5 of my students here, so they can vouch for my class. And they're all mission members, of course. So again, I do believe that we need to take care of all levels of our being. So Ayurveda, Swastha is a word for health in Ayurveda. So it is a union of body, mind, and spirit. So if you don't have this integration of all 3, you cannot feel healthy. You don't feel healthy. Think about that. We're not talking about disease-free, but feeling that health, right? That is important. And the same thing, yoga, just again, union of body, mind, and spirit. So they all both come from the Samkhya philosophy. So this is what it is. So when it comes to, in Ayurveda, they talk about mind is just as important as the physical body. Because the mind is connected to the physical body. So mentally you're not happy, you're unhealthy, or you're having negative thinking, whatever it is, it starts to manifest as physical illness. So for example, if you're a person who's very sad and always stuffing your emotions all of the time, then they say you'll get lung disease eventually. So again, there are a lot of these problems. So if you're too high-strung all the time and very intense and passionate, you might end up with skin disease. So again, there's such a big link between mind and body. So this is why we need to take care of our mind. Of course, yoga has a lot of tools for that. Sage Patanjali, who's given us the Yoga Sutras, has beautiful sutras. In just 1 or 2 lines, he tells us how we should live our life. So the goal of yoga, so before I go into that, I wanted to talk about, just briefly touch upon the 3 gunas of the mind, right? You all know this, you're all students of Vedanta, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So our mind is a combination of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and this is there for everybody. Now the proportion might vary. What does a sattvic mind look like? It looks like a very still lake where your mind is very calm, there's not a lot of thoughts going on, you're always kind of balanced, you feel peaceful in your mind. So the peace lake that you look at, that's how you feel. The Rajasic mind is more of activity driven, very intense, very agitated, disturbed, anxiety. All of this is related to the Rajasic mind. And generally, Vatas feel more of these kind of turbulence, Rajas, because Vata is all movement, air and space, it's movement. So you get more anxious. Think about it, you get older, even if you're calmer when you're younger, you get older, you get more anxiety. You have more fears, you're nervous about a lot of things. So this is because the Vata stage kicks in and then you are kind of getting into that kind of mind. So this is why you need to balance your Vata more so you don't get into that. And this is where yoga is just amazing. And then of course the third is the Tamas. Tamas is also important because it is a dullness, inertia in the mind, not a lot of movement, not a lot of thoughts. But you also need Tamas, right? If you're going to bed at night, you need some Tamas to be able to sleep. If your mind is Rajasic, you will be just up all the time. And a lot of older people do have a problem falling asleep. This is because too much anxiety and so much thoughts going on. So this is where again yoga gives us a lot of tools to work with. Okay. All right. So having spoken about that, I just want to show diet and lifestyle can make a huge difference on how we manage our mind and our physical body. First, let's start with, especially for a Vata person who doesn't have a lot of routine, they don't like a lot of routine. So the most important thing is have that, live with the nature's rhythms. So there's a aphorism, Yatha Pinde Tata Brahmane. So whatever is in the universe is what is in our body. So if we live in harmony with our nature, right, going with the circadian rhythm, now the modern science is talking about sleep at a certain time, when the sun goes down, all of these are coming out. But if you live with the nature's rhythms, eat your main meal for lunch, eat a light dinner, eat 3 hours before you go to bed. So if you follow some of these things, your body will get naturally balanced. So again, I have a YouTube channel, so I've shared a lot of these concepts. So I will also send the link if you want to subscribe to my channel. I have lots of these things to help you out, the pacifying that, all of these things are there. I talked about elderly as well. So definitely the dosha clock, this is called the dosha clock. You live by the rhythms of the clock and then you will find balance. The second thing is obviously diet. Now diet is very important, sattvic diet, right? So I told you, you get dryness and as you get older, you start having also a lot of bloating and digestive problems and all of that as you get older. So here you want to eat more of a sattvic diet, more of a warm, fresh food. It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Like today we just made khichdi. That's kind of an example of a sattvic diet. And then mild spices, not too spicy because that also can imbalance vata, but mild spices. And eat fresh foods and again small portions. So Ayurveda says this is one anjali. You're supposed to eat only this much per meal. So think about it, go to a buffet, do you really eat this much? No, right? But sometimes once in a while you slip and fall, you eat so much, but the next day you can always balance it out and have some warm water, kind of digest that food and all of that. The third thing is, of course, sleep is very important because if you don't go to bed by like 10 to 2 is considered to be pitta time. Now, pitta energy in the body is a transformative energy, which means it breaks down the food that we eat. It helps in digestion of your food, it helps in digestion of your mind, your thoughts and emotions, everything. So if you're not sleeping during that window of 10 to 2, and a lot of people stay up late, when they're watching TV or they cannot fall asleep, whatever, then you're not digesting all of those emotions and thoughts. So to get to that sattvic mind, you have to digest those thoughts and emotions. Otherwise, again the next day you're starting off with the same, chaos in your head. So this is where sleep is very important. And then the other thing is people have trouble, and this is typical with the Indian population I see, is a lot of people eat very late at night. And in India it's even worse. But so when you eat so late at night, like 9 o'clock and then go to bed at 10, 11, you cannot sleep, number one. Then you're going to also feel very uncomfortable and your sugar can go up. So a lot of problems can happen. So I always say eat 3 hours before bedtime, you finish your dinner, maybe by 7 o'clock if you're sleeping at 10. You can always have some chamomile, lavender tea or something like that. That is actually very soothing for the mind. And then if you have trouble falling asleep, you can take a few drops of warm Brahmi oil, rub it on the soles of your feet, just do a gentle massage, and then that will actually help you go to sleep as well. So this is a diet and lifestyle. Let's get to the yoga part of it now. So two things I want to do. So the yoga, so I'm going to take a couple of sutras. So Sage Patanjali has given us the Yoga Sutras in 4 chapters. And in our class, we've already finished 2 chapters and we will be, soon starting the 3rd hopefully. But anyway, so the main goal in yoga is Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. That is the goal, that's what Patanjali. So what is Chitta Vritti? The mind, vritti of the thoughts. The thoughts are constantly going, the modifications of the mind, this is what causes disturbance to us. So disturbing our peace of mind. So the goal of yoga is to calm down, regulate those thoughts and cut down those thoughts. In fact, they say that the less thoughts you have, you feel, you know that if you don't have a lot of thoughts, you're going to feel much more peaceful, you're not agitated as much. So that is the goal. Now the second thing that a lot of, as you get older, when you have become the empty nester, whether maybe you are working a lot or you are raising children or whatever, but then when you get to that stage of emptiness stage, you feel lonely. A lot of older population suffer from loneliness. So one is having that peace of mind. The second thing is loneliness. So this loneliness, thanks for coming.
Sorry about that.
No problem. It's okay. So the loneliness is a big issue, and again, a lot of the chronic illnesses and everything is related to this loneliness also, right? And what is the main issue that a lot of elderly people face? Relationships, right? We have all grown children, and then we have a lot of expectation, and Swamiji was talking about the attachment leading to problems, and that does happen. So relationship issues. So I love this sutra, and our class loves this sutra too. It's very beautifully said how to deal with, how to maintain that peace of mind by following very simple things. So this is the sutra goes, Maitri Karuna Mudito Pekshana Sukha Dukkha Punya Punyana Vishayana Bhavanatas Chitta Prasadanam. So for Chitta Prasadanam, that is the calmness or the peace of the mind, there are 4 types of people, okay, in the world. One is Sukha, which is happy people, we know those. Dukkha, people who are not happy or suffering. Then you have the 3rd category of people is Punya, which is virtuous people, the wise people. And then you have Apunya, which is people with vices, with too much of negative thinking. Sometimes you say toxic people and things like that. So we know people in all 4 categories. So he gives us 4, so I follow Swami Sachidananda's commentary. He looks at it as, these are like the 4 locks. The 4 relationships, the 4 locks of the kind of people. There are 4 keys, so different keys open different locks, or what you should use for each of these. So if you're a happy person, then you show Maitri. Maitri means friendliness. So when you meet a happy person, you show friendliness, be friendly with them. When you see an unhappy person who's suffering, then you do Karuna, which is compassion, show compassion to them. There you cannot say, oh, you have to be happy, you cannot try to change them, you just have to accept. So basically this is about acceptance. When you start accepting everybody exactly the way they are, being aware who they are and then accepting, then your mind also has less agitations. The 3rd category is Punya, the virtuous. So there you show Mudita, joy, happiness, like satsang, we are very joyful when we are there because we feel relaxed, our mind is very calm. Then of course Apunya, which is the difficult people, which are negative and toxic, you want to have an attitude of upeksha, which is indifference or like neutral towards them. Neither happy nor sad, but just kind of. And of course, sometimes you may want to even just keep your interaction to a minimum. So this is very important to remember. So think about the 4 locks and the 4 keys, right? The 4 locks are Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya. Then what you practice is friendliness towards the happy people, compassion, Karuna towards the unhappy, suffering people. Then Mudita, joy, rejoice with the wise people, and then indifference or neutrality towards the Apunya people, which is negative, toxic kind of people. So this is, I think this is a very useful tool. So if we can recognize this in all our relationships, we know how to speak to different people, so we are not expecting something that they cannot give. If somebody is really suffering, you cannot expect happiness from them. You can, oh, you're not calling me, but they themselves cannot handle themselves, they're not going to be calling you. So this is something I think is very useful. Sage Patanjali is very practical. He gives so many different choices how to keep our mind calm. The next sutra, he talks about the pranayama. He says by expelling air, by holding the air and expelling the air, we remove a lot of the toxins, we let go of a lot of the toxins. So if some of you have learned, yoga, pranayama or something, they always say exhalation should be longer than inhalation. You must have heard that, right? That's the reason. You inhale, but then exhale, you release all of that negativity. So that is very important. And then the last thing, and before we do the practice, last thing you want to remember is, remember when Swamiji talked about that oneness, see that God in everybody, right? So God is there in everybody. So how do you feel that? We know that when you study Vedanta, we've heard this millions of times, but are you really practicing? Are you able to practice this, right? So here is where I got compassion meditation. It's also called loving kindness meditation. When you start practicing that, you will see slowly, and what happens in here is, many of us, because of our own experiences, especially if you've lived 50, 60 years in your life, you've had a lot of negative experiences in life too. So sometimes we tend to close our hearts because we don't want to be hurt. So this is natural human tendency. It's a survival instinct because nobody wants to be hurt. So what we do is we close ourselves so much that we are not even able to receive love or see others with love because we are so closed off. And I don't know if some of you may relate to this, all of you relate to this, but at some point or the other we all go through this. So this is where I find compassion meditation is very useful. So there what we do is, it is sort of like a guided meditation. I will guide you through that as well. So first you are offering compassion to yourself. So sometimes you're upset with yourself. Oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that, or I should have been better. We always criticize ourselves, self-criticism. So everybody makes mistakes, and I think if you can accept, even if you have feelings of anger or jealousy that come up, and that's okay, it's a human quality, but you have to forgive yourself. Because if you get stuck in that emotion, you can never move forward. Then you're stuck there, there's no way you're even going to look at anybody else. So first you give compassion to yourself. So there I would say, may I be free of pain and suffering, may I find peace and happiness, and again I will guide you through that. Then next is you think of somebody who you love in your life. It could be your friend, it could be your child, it could be your parents, whoever you love in your life. And imagine them sitting there and do the same thing. Let them be free of pain and suffering, let them find peace and happiness. So you're kind of broadening your reach. So to embrace everybody into yourself. The third one is going to be the hardest one, because there everybody has somebody who's difficult in their life or a conflict with or something, right? It's very hard to send loving kindness to them. So here you can say, may they be free of pain and suffering, or you can say, let them be, because sometimes ego gets in the way, so you want to start with, let them be free of pain and suffering, let them find peace and happiness. If you can remember, every soul is on its own journey, it's okay, let them be also happy, because sometimes they say, hurt people hurt others. So maybe they're hurting in some way, so that is why you're not able to have that connection. Maybe if they could get past that, then they, and I have seen this, my own experience, I have done this for people difficult in life, and it is just, it's not that you're changing them, it's just your outlook about them changes. Before you were very harsh in judging them, but then here you started practicing that your heart is opening towards them, then you change your own attitude towards that person. And then the last one is, think of some stranger, like somebody in a clerk or in a supermarket or postman or any stranger. You have no feelings one way or the other. Then you wish compassion for them. So again, the last one is Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It's like Vasudeva Kutumbakam, we talk about it all the time. So more and more you practice this, you will see your heart expanding and embracing everybody. You don't have this narrow attachment to one or two people in your life, but you feel the same towards everybody. And I wouldn't be speaking about this if I don't practice it myself. I've been doing this for at least 13 years. I started in 2011, I think. I had studied so much of Vedanta. I know a lot of things, we all do. But nothing was sinking in. It's like, I know all of this stuff. Why am I not feeling this towards these people? And why am I having these negative thoughts? And I think this just showed up on one of some TV I was watching, and it showed up. And I said, wow, I need to start doing this. So I just started doing this, and it is just amazing how my heart opened up. So this has been a great, and I tell my yoga students, you have to do this, and I know one of them is shaking their head, she knows how it's helped her. So definitely, and the interesting thing is in the 3rd chapter, and I'm actually studying Yoga Sutras, 3rd chapter right now, and one of the sutras says, Hridaye Chitta Samvit. So he says, if you're meditating, if you do samyama or meditate on the heart, the anahata chakra or a heart, then you will get awareness of the consciousness. So your bliss is within you, right? We all know the happiness and bliss is always within us. It is never about the person outside. It is never about the objects outside. It is only about our own bliss. So if we feel the bliss inside, we're not going to see any negativity outside. It is what you are inside is what you're seeing outside. Patanjali also says that, you meditate on your heart, then you will automatically connect with everything around you, with the consciousness. You will be aware of the consciousness, and you're not going to have that individual outlook. You will be more embracing everybody else. So that's basically it. So are we ready for practice?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I try to go as fast as possible. I hope I didn't go too fast. Yeah, you have a question?
Sure, one question. So you said that up to 75 is like Vata. What about after 75?
No, Vata, after, yeah.
Oh. To the end of life.
That's the end of life. You just shrivel up and go. It's like a prune, you become like a prune. Think about it, right? People lose muscle mass, lose water, everything. That's Vata. Okay. So first, just give you a little bit of a preview. So we're going to practice Ujjayi Pranayama. Okay. So Ujjayi Pranayama is also called ocean breath. So what we're doing here is we're going to constrict our throat, and we're going to inhale through the nose, and the breath is going through the back of your throat. And I will show you first before you practice. And then once you inhale, and then you're filling up your lungs, and then as you expand the lungs, you're opening up your abdomen. So it's a deep breathing, okay? And then as you exhale, you do the same thing. So you can also hold it, but today we will not hold it. Usually holding is more advanced. So we will start with just the inhalation and then exhalation, and I'm going to show you. So when you're exhaling, you actually will make this kind of a sound, and you will hear that, the humming sound kind of thing. So that is why it's called ocean breath. It sounds like the ocean. So some of the, just wanted to share what are the advantages. So first of all, it helps you to have a long and smooth breathing, right? So again, you're also cleansing a lot of your nadis when you're doing this. And then it also regulates blood pressure. So it also helps, it produces, they say, studies have shown, you have a nasal breathing, you produce nitrous oxide, which is a vasodilator, and that actually helps to reduce your blood pressure. So it is very effective for blood pressure. And then, again, controlled breathing is also give you calmness of the mind, right? What happens when you're really anxious or upset or angry? You stop breathing. And what do people usually say? Just breathe, relax, breathe. Why? Because we forgot to breathe. So the more you keep doing this deep breathing, your mind gets automatically calm, and you're not going to go be anxious and angry and all of that stuff. And then, and then of course it alleviates anxiety, stress. I already said that. So, and this is also very good for asana practice. If you're used to doing yogasanas, you can use Ujjayi breath itself for the asana practice. So, there is another sutra which says that. So there is a nadi here at the base of the throat called Kurma nadi. Okay, Kurma nadi. So the Kurma nadyam sthairiam, that is one of the sutras. So what happens is, it actually gives you steadiness. So when you're doing this, you're actually balancing that, you're cleansing that nadi. So you are able to, practice steadiness of the mind. That's why we say use it in asana practice, you can get steadiness. We were talking about balance. So all of these breaths, so when you incorporate this breathing with some of the exercises Swati said, I think you can do it much, you can hold it a lot easier, like even the balancing and things like that. So the breath is very important. I think that is what differentiates yoga from just physical exercise, right? You want to focus on your breath. And the more and more you focus on your breath, your body will listen to you. Because the prana, the koshas, panchakoshas, annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha. Manomaya kosha, annamaya kosha, food sheath and the mind are connected by the prana, pranamaya kosha. So when you do more and more pranayama thing, that actually connects in the body and the mind, and that steadiness. Okay, so let's begin with the Ujjayi Pranayama. I'm just going to show you a demonstration and then you can we'll do it after that. Okay, so I want you to sit, as maybe sit a little further in front, and then because I want your back to be straight. You don't want to be slouching, you want your back to be straight. Keep your feet firmly planted on the floor, feet on the floor. Keep your back straight, shoulders down, and relax your body. So so just watch my breath and I will guide you through your problem. Okay, so first you're going to constrict the throat a little bit. So you want it to be a really deep breath. And you hear that noise, that's why we call it. So the other thing you can do to give you a little bit more space is, so you want to feel as you're inhaling, your belly is getting bigger. Okay, so let's begin. Let's try this. Do it really slowly. Just, if you want, close your eyes and just focus on your breath alone. Okay, you can finish with this breath. So how did that feel? Did that feel a little calmer? Your mind felt a little calmer? Any comments?
What is this called?
Ujjayi. Ujjayi also means victory. Oh. Victory over the mind. Victory breath.
So when you inhale, the belly comes up.
Belly goes up. So you're inhaling through the back of your throat. So you should feel that cool air behind in the throat. This comes with practice. It takes a while because this is not unnatural. When you think about it, when you do an exercise, inhalation, people see the belly going in. Exhalation, belly comes in.
Exactly.
So it's always a reverse. So yogic breathing is the opposite.
I see.
So initially you might feel weird about it because, did you feel that? Like it felt like it's natural?
Like, exactly.
Right. So I think that initially that's how you're going to feel. But once you start doing this, you will get used to it. I mean, it takes practice, it takes time. So again, this is where you need compassion. Be okay, it's not coming, just keep trying it, it will happen. But you have to be serious about it. So let's do it 3 times. I'm going to say, let's do it 3 times. Close your eyes and do 3 slow breaths. Just focus on how you feel in your mind. If you're feeling relaxed again, make sure you're just planted on the floor, keeping your back straight. Okay, let's do it together. 3.
How long are you supposed to do Ujjayi breath?
Okay, so again, it all depends on your own capacity.
You don't hold.
You don't have to hold. I would just do for now. So you inhale, let's say 4 counts, exhale 8 counts, or at least 6, more than the inhale. Okay. So if you cannot do 4 counts, start with 2 counts. There's no hard and fast rule. It is about your lung capacity, right? But you want to keep increasing. You don't want to just stop at 2. Especially if you feel, oh, this is so easy, then you know you can go. So this is how you expand your lungs, you expand your capacity. This helps with your stamina and exercise too. If you're walking 5 minutes, becomes a shorter breath, then once you start practicing this, it gives you a little more stamina to do longer. Talking about exercise, I was thinking about, this is something I tell my patients too, is 30 minutes, 150 minutes a week is what they recommend, but 30 minutes sometimes is not easy for people to walk. So what I say, do 3 times, 10 minutes after each meal. It's called exercise snacking in Western medicine. So either before or after meal, 10 minutes if you can do after each meal or before each meal. Even that is, in fact, that is even more effective for blood sugar control and all of that. Rather than doing just 30 minutes and then I'm like relaxing all day long. Oh, I'm done with my exercise for the day. Most people feel, oh, it's a chore to do this. But sometimes you just take 10 minutes and walk around. I just walk around in the house. And I even tell some of my patients, like really elderly patients, they don't walk. And I said, you know what, even when you're cooking, you walking from there to the fridge, picking up the vegetables and putting it in. I mean, even that is movement. So movement is very important, more than anything else. And like Swati ji emphasized, that's all we can do at that stage when you become. So this Ujjayi Pranayama is very effective. The nasal breath, I said, is important. It's good to learn from a teacher because this way they can correct you. So if you have a teacher, you can learn from, you can learn from YouTube. I've taught you, but it's always good to have a teacher just because they can watch you and tell you, you're doing this right or this is wrong, whatever, they can do that. So that's important. So you can do this in the morning, first thing in the morning. You can do it at night before you go to bed because it kind of cleans up all your mind and you can actually sleep better. You can do it Sandhya Kalam, twilight before dinner. You can do it at that time also. You can start with whatever is your capacity. You can only do 3 breaths, that's fine. If you do 10, great. Or if you want to put a timer for 2 minutes and do it, that's also fine. But just make sure you do it. That is the most important thing. Even if you do once a day, it will make a big difference.
Then slowly, okay. I'm sorry? 10 minutes okay.
No, 10 minutes is very long. Okay. I'm saying do 2 minutes. You want to do 10 minutes, you can, but build up.
All together, all the pranayamas together. I'm not doing it very right, but I try to do 10 minutes.
Yeah, don't do all the pranayamas. Just pick one thing and stick to that.
Okay.
It's the most important thing is to consistency. Even if you can only dedicate 5 minutes for your practice, do that every day. Because that is what is going to give you results. And I will share a sutra about that too. So the second thing I wanted to do is a compassion meditation. So this is going to be a guided meditation. I just want you guys to just sit, like I said, this one if you want to lean a little bit, it's fine. It's okay. I'm just going to guide you through this process and you just have to imagine whatever I'm saying, you can think about it in your own mind. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's close your eyes. Just relax your body. You need to take a deep breath and exhale. Now here you're going to visualize your heart is open wide and love and compassion are expanding out of it. Now as I go through every step, you will chant or think whatever I'm saying in your mind. First, focus the loving kindness on yourself. Now say it in your mind. Say it at least 3 times. May I be free of pain and suffering. May I find peace and happiness. It's good to close your eyes and visualize yourself being happy, peaceful. Next, you think of a friend or a loved one and send them this loving kindness meditation. Say in your mind, let them be free of pain and suffering. Let them find peace and happiness. And just see them being happy. Visualize that in your mind. Third, visualize someone you are in conflict with or have difficulty communicating or whatever, some difficulty with, and direct this loving kindness towards them. Say in your mind, let them be free of pain and suffering. Let them find peace and happiness. Again, visualize them, maybe sitting on a stage and they're looking very happy. Imagine them to be happy and joyful. Next, direct this loving kindness to a stranger. Somebody you don't have any relationship with, but just maybe like a grocery store clerk or any neutral party, a gardener, and just send this loving kindness towards them. See them being happy and joyful. So visualize that in your mind and say those words inside in your mind as well. And finally, we end with Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the whole world be happy. And just visualize everybody is so happy around you and you're so connected to everyone else through your heart. And feel that peace within. And then rub your palms together. Cup your eyes. And then slowly open your eyes. How did that feel? You feel happy when you think somebody is happy, right? When you're angry, you can't feel that. But when you start practicing this, you start feeling this. And I can tell you, it's changed so many people in my life. I mean, it's almost like they automatically change.
How long do you do this?
So basically, whatever I did just now, so a couple minutes, you know. And again, this is not something you have to sit in meditation to do it. You can be driving, and if even if somebody you had a conflict with that day, right? You can send them.
Do you need to really go to them when we?
It's not about it going to them. It changes our feeling towards them, right? We are not always. We're not. See, they may just say something without thinking, right? But we are getting affected. Everything is within us. It has nothing to do with that, but they are acting their nature. Like I told you, the 4 kinds of people act according to their nature. But we are getting affected. So when we change our attitude towards that person and have that love for them, because we are lacking love. Remember, Gurudev says that, right? When love is thin, what is that?
Faults.
Faults are high, yeah. So when your love is thin, then there's no fault. But our children, we never get upset because there's unconditional love. No matter what they do, we're okay with it. But we can't extend that same thing to everybody. It becomes hard. So I think that is where this really happens. And I also say, even if you're driving, wherever you are, it doesn't have to, you have to sit in meditation and do this. You can think about this anywhere. Right?
So consciously forgiving.
Right, forgiving. Because otherwise, if you take anger, if you get angry with them, you're carrying that anger with you. And that is going to eat you up inside. So this way, you are connecting with that soul. And that soul starts to feel the positive vibration too. There is a, the cosmos all around us is Brahman, right? We are in Brahman itself. So definitely that oneness starts to happen. And I vouch for this 100%, and you have to try it to believe it. So this is where I'm going to leave you with the last sutra. So any practice, whether it is physical practice, spiritual practice, mindfulness practice, meditation, anything, right? There are 4 things. Patanjali, Sage Patanjali, if you want to be firmly established in any practice, and he's referring to yoga practice, of course, he says, Satu Dirgha Kala Nairantarya Satkara Asevito Drida Bhumihi. So Drida Bhumi means firmly established. So if you want to be firmly established in something, there are 4 factors needed. One is Dirgha Kala, for a long time, right? So we want to, so the longer you do it, you're going to get the effects. Nairantarya means without break. This is where I said consistency. So if you can only dedicate 5 minutes a day, that's fine. But keep that 5 minutes every day, don't forget. I do 30 minutes meditation in the morning. I never skip. Maybe 1 or 2 days, things happen in life, you might skip. But I always bounce back, get back. Because once you stop for a few days, you know how hard it is to get back. You know, with exercise, people in New Year's, everybody's making a resolution. 2 weeks later, they all forget about it. Right? So this is what happens. So this is Nairantarya. That is why I said you pick something that you are able to do. Everybody has their own bandwidth and energy. So if you can only do 5 minutes, that's totally fine. As long as you do. And then the other one is Sadhu Dirgha Kala Nairantarya Satkara. Satkara is with reverence. Because you have some precious tool in your hands, you want to use it. it's been given to us. So we have to have reverence for that. With great gratitude, you practice that. And then asay with proper knowledge. I mean, do it the right way. That's why I said you need a proper teacher who teach you the right way. Because you don't want to do, because yoga asanas, people get injured when they do it wrong. So you want to make sure you learn from physical therapist. Then you have to go to a physical therapist. And she'll be happy with that. But, oh, by the way, she's in practice in April. I didn't mention that. So again, so these are the four things. It's Dirgha Kala, Nairantya, without break, with reverence for what we've gotten from our sages, and of course doing it the right way. So this is true for all practices, but whatever you get out of today's class, try to pick one or two practices, one exercise, one the pranayama, compassion meditation, whatever. Do it every day and see the results for yourself. Again, this is only for yourself, not to tell everybody preach. We immediately want to go preach to everybody. We don't want to do that. We fix ourselves, everybody will get fixed around us. So that's all. So again, I just wanted to mention, I have a YouTube channel. It's called DPK Nutrition, Mind, Body Healing with Pushpa. I started about 4 years ago, I think. So I have like 120 videos. So I share a lot of these things. So I do have compassion meditation, like a guided meditation, if you want to go follow. I have shared Ujjayi Pranayama. I've talked about yoga. I've talked about Vata, pacific diet, elderly, diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease. I've done all of these, like as a dietitian as well as yoga and all of that. So if you want to go, search, subscribe to my channel. I'm not advertising. I'm just saying this to help you guys. Not, I don't need anything out of it. But I shared it because it's my passion, and I also, thought it's helpful for people. But you can subscribe, you'll see all my videos. So if you want to learn more about any of the stuff that I talked about, you can always learn from that. Okay? Any questions?
Would you share the link, please?
Sure, I will. I will send it in the. Are you in the email list or?
Yes.
You are. Okay. I'm sorry.
Raj Tiwari.
Okay. Yeah. I'll share it. I'll share that, and I'll share the Swatiji's exercise, and hopefully when this is posted, I will also share the.
And then one more question.
Sure.
You mentioned something about yogic breathing is opposite of normal breathing.
Yeah, so see, if are you used to do pranayama on a regular basis or no? Okay. So generally when you're doing both exercises and stuff, they will or take a deep inhale, exhale, they say, but it's usually when you do inhale, your stomach is going in. If you notice. Yeah. Usually when you do exercise, that's the natural thing people do is inhale. You're pulling your stomach in.
We want it to expand.
You want it to expand. Because you are actually expanding your lungs, right? You're expanding your lungs because you're improving your lung capacity here, which gives you more stamina to. And again, prana. So when they say the prana outside is more than the prana is very low inside, that's when you feel tired and exhausted and all that. So this is why when you do pranayama, you are actually increases the prana inside the body, so you have more energy. And of course, there are other benefits. In Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, which is alternate nostril breathing, you are the 72,000 nadis in the body. And the three main ones, Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. So we are actually cleansing all of these nadis. And that helps to give mental balance, physical balance, and all of that too. There is so much in yoga. I mean, it is just an amazing system. I think we are done, so we have dinner. Yeah.
So is the goal to do yogic breathing even normally? I mean, even like when you're not actually doing pranayama?
Yeah, you should do deep breathing. Yes, deep breathing.
Expand your tummy
yes.
when you're breathing?
If you remember, yes.
I mean, trying to see. Is it only
you can't control it all day long, obviously. This is more controlled breathing, right? You're trying to control balance. Controlled breathing. So, but more and more you practice, it will become your normal breathing.
Because as I'm talking to you, I'm noticing my breath. I am pulling my tummy in when I'm breathing.
Yeah, in.
So I'm at the reverse.
Yeah, that's a natural. So we are doing the reverse of the natural.
So if it's reverse, you do it only when you're doing the pranayama, or you have to do it deep?
No, you do it you start with the pranayama. The more and more you practice, it will become second nature to you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to conscious every minute.
Dear Pushpa, thank you.
Conclude.
Yeah.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhamam Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadaഃ Purnamidam
I hear you